Hi friends, it's Missy with Missy's Glad Heart Studio. Welcome to the Baldwinsville Public Library virtual card making night. It's March 2026, and tonight I'm actually in Long Beach, California with Stampin' Up's onstage celebration. So one of our featured cards tonight is a beach card, colorful and sunny. And I look forward to learning lots, meeting friends old and new, and learning lots of things that I can bring back to share with you. We have 3 projects for tonight's class. The first, we will be altering some designer series paper, doing some coloring and a technique called stack, cut, and shuffle to create a puzzle of designer series paper pieces. We have our beach fun fold. It's a really neat stand-up card that will be great to send to someone to send some sunshine their way as we're awaiting summer here in the Finger Lakes and central New York. Of course, we had a little tease of spring with some temperatures that warmed up and starting to melt that snow. And here's a little springtime hello card, which will be our third project, and this has some beautiful foiled papers that we'll be using. So let's get started with our card that we're going to be making first, altering the designer series paper. Here's a version made with the purples, the Highland Heather colors, and you'll see when you take the from your kit, if you picked up a kit at the library, thanks for your $5 suggested donation. You'll have the supplies to make these 3 cards. Feel free to mix and match with your stash at home to make these projects your own. I love seeing what you make and hearing the stories of who you'll share your cards with. But you'll see the pieces are, you'll have 4 pieces, 4 squares and 4 rectangular pieces, and 1 cutout piece like this that we're going to color and fussy cut to make that flower embellishment focal point. But the 4 pieces that are rectangular are maybe in different configurations. So you'll see in this case I have a polka dot here and a stripe here. I've got the floral pattern and the leaf pattern. So you'll have to kind of puzzle out how the pieces fit best for you. I like to have that largest rectangle down at the bottom, and then this here, here, and here. But what I like to do too is this one, because it is the same as the focal point, I like to use the reverse of this, and we'll have some fun stripes. When we do our coloring though, we're going to do it on the reverse, and it makes kind of a mottled watercolory look, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So we're going to do this version with yellow colors. Set aside our focal point images to do in a bit, and we'll go ahead. We're not going to glue things till after we color them. So for the leaf image paper, I'm just going to take my green and kind of scribble over those little leaves. I don't have to make it exact. The black kind of mutes the green that's overlapping, and I like the look of the messy watercolory look. This paper has some nice doodly looking designs, so it's okay that there's that kind of whimsical coloring. We're just going to wiggle those in, and remember your particular size of this leaf paper might be different because I cut them all at the same time. I'll show you. I have a stack, and then I cut them all at once and then sort them. So let me show you here. This is the 4 pieces get stacked, and then stack, cut, and shuffle. So we stack them, we cut them, and each time I cut, I make sure I've got the pieces lined up together, and that way I have 4 sets of the different puzzle pieces to construct with. So there's our green piece. For the stripes, I'm going to color on the back, and what I'm going to do is just scribble in this polka dot area with some green. And again, I'm not being exact. I'm not being precise here. I've got green, and I'll take some yellows. And the blends come in pairs, so you have a light and a dark of each color. I'm just scribbling those along here. And what I'll do is come back in with the other yellow and blur them a little bit here, kind of adding some more color. Some people like to do the light and then add the dark. That's what I'm doing here. I have the light color, and then I'm going in and highlighting some of those darker pieces. But the magic on this one is when we flip it over, we have just a kind of muted, watery looking color with the yellow and the green sneaking through. Just add some interest to that piece. This one's fun to color, the one that has the small flowers and leaves. So I'm going to squiggle in, look around for the flowers. If you color a leaf with a flower color, that's okay. I'm kind of doing it quickly. You might want to take a little more time to make sure you don't miss any of the flower images. Once those are in, I'm going to go back now, another yellow, and just scribble some more so there's a little bit of shading. Take my green and paint these leaves. So the blends are an alcohol-based marker. You could use colored pencils for this technique. You could use watercolor markers, alcohol markers, Sharpies, if you have those. They'll bleed through. If your marker doesn't bleed through very well, that's okay. You'll just have a nice stripe pattern. And then this one, we're going to add the yellow on the polka dots, just so it's got a little more interest here. Also, the black and white patterns are quite striking, so you may decide that you don't want to alter the papers, that you just want to keep that black and white pattern design, which is really lovely. Okay, the next coloring we're going to do is our piece here that's going to be our focal image. So we'll paint our yellow flower. I'm gonna use the other end. The blends have two tips. One is a broader paintbrush. The other is a pointy tip, more for writing or for coloring in smaller pieces. And this just has a little bit of green. What I'll do is touch up those little stem pieces, and then I'm also going to just add tiny color to those little sort of fern-like or berry-like pieces. Now we want to fussy cut this so that it's going to have some nice definition. And to do that, we're going to move the paper with your left hand if you're using right-handed scissors. And you'll notice I'm keeping my scissors pretty straight. What I'm doing is moving the paper, but keeping my scissors pointed away from my body. Okay, so that allows me to get a pretty close, even little bit of white all the way around. Let me make sure you can see that on the camera. Okay. And it does help to have some sharp scissors to do this. Take your time. Sometimes people like to fussy cut if they're watching a movie or listening to an audiobook or having a conversation, but where they can give their physical attention to the project, but your mental energy can be somewhere else. There we are. So let's see, something else we need to do now is add our sentiment to our circle. And for this, I have a stamp from a new stamp set called Nature's Symphony. And this is really beautiful with some fernery, fern backgrounds, texture background. I like you lots. To a great guy, you make me smile, and thank you. So that's a fun one. Nature's Symphony, and we'll use the sentiment, you make me smile. This is versatile for all occasions. You make me smile. I'm going to center that right into my circle. Here we are. Set aside my ink. And just to add a little bit of a sneaky layer here, it makes it look as though, when you look quickly, it looks as though there's a ring of the peach paper or the purple paper here. We're going to do that with the yellow marker. I'm just going to take the blend, go along the edge here to make a small mat of yellow, just to connect the pieces of the project with this color palette. You could also color the full circle with your marker if you wanted, so it wouldn't be white, but I think the white and black make such a great dramatic contrast. Now we'll use some adhesives to put our pieces together, okay? I'm going to take my multi-purpose glue and adhere the white to the black circle. And then I have my puzzle pieces to add to the black mat. So I'm going to take my largest piece. Look how it looks funny with the polka dot colors behind. So experiment with the designer series paper, which sides you you like the best. You could put this on if you like. I just felt that it would compete a little bit depending on where it's positioned on the card. I felt it competed a little bit with my let's see. Well, maybe I will do it this way because I goofed. I intended to have that stripe show, but I put the glue on that side. So here we are. There are no mistakes in stamping, only opportunities for layering and embellishing. You can decide your own layouts here. I love the polka dots. So I'm going to, there's leaves on this side, but I'm going to have the polka dots show. There we are. I'm at my studio, so you could hear the heating a little bit, but now it's taking a break. It is a beautiful, almost spring-like day today with lots of snow melting. I'm going to add my sentiment here and then pop up the focal point with a dimensional as well and position that there. So then we're going to put it onto our card base with some Tombow multi-purpose glue, a thin thread, or we like to say dot, 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 not a lot, just to get that secure. That is a nice strong adhesive. And then we'll finish this up by adding some gems. So let's see, I'm going to put a gem on each of the flower blossoms here, sort of inside the flower. And I have 5, so you can go ahead. I'm going to actually add a couple up here so that there's even more. Or you can save those 2 for another project. You make me smile. So here we are with our other colors and the fun sparkle and variety of the variations you can create with the colors is a lot of fun for this one. Okay, next we're going to go to the beach, and you have one or the other of these 2 designs. So in your envelope, the one that has the printed blue inside, you will see one of these, the supplies to make one or the other of these cards. And they're both really fun accordion standout cards. So they'll look great on whoever you share this with. The recipient of the card will delight in having that on display. So let's see which one we're going to begin with here. I'll take out the pieces. Oh, we've got the surfboard one first. Okay. You may have a few gems in there too. I think for some of the kits have little gems, or you could use your gems from your other card. And then we're going to work on assembling this. There's a little bit of stamping. So we'll stamp the greeting, hello sunshine. Thought that would be fun for me to share with you while I'm in the sunny Long Beach, California. Hello, sunshine. The crab is going to carry this little banner. So cute. We'll slit that there so it says hello, sunshine. And let's see. We're going to put together by adding the surfboard image. Let me just clear my space a little so there's not quite as much distraction. Okay, so we're going to put adhesive along this edge and onto the card base. A thread of glue. And that's going to line up right along the bottom. Okay. And then we've got our hello sunshine. Oh, we've got this piece we'll put in next. This one goes right in the back. So you'll see there's already blue on this folded part. We're just going to add adhesive to the back of this piece and insert it. It'll go right down to the crease here. Okay, let's put some adhesive on the bottom of this. And slide that in. And secure that with your fingers. Okay, and we have our hello sunshine. This layer is going to go next. And if you take a look at the card, if we stretch it out, you can see there's a spot here where it's tan and it turns blue. We're going to put some adhesive on this bottom of this sandy piece and just add that in place. So what that's doing is just creating another little stand-up piece, each like little flags almost on the accordions. And then our crab can be added with some adhesive right here at the beach. A little starfish and shell. I love all these little die cuts, colorful pieces. Put that there. And so then you have your card ready. When it opens up, they see that fun crab and greeting. And it fits neatly into your envelope. You can add some of these little sparkles. They're kind of like shiny bits in the sand. I'm going to put mine so that they're around the starfish in the shell. Put them down into the sand here. One here. So they're like the sparkly sand, or you could have them in the water reflections up on the sunshine. You can decide where to place those. So that's a simple, quick to put together because so many of the pieces are ready for you. It's got that vintage rainbow feel, California vibe, and I hope you'll have fun sending that to someone as you await the summer. We have a beach card here with a beach chair, which is kind of fun for our other one. So either you have the crab card with the surfboards, or you have the what do we call that? Umbrella. Okay. This one also has a little bit of stamping. You'll find a rectangle piece in your kit that looks like this. And we'll take our yellow ink and our stamp. Let's see if I can find that one. There's a couple choices. Oh, this one here says, "Wish you were here." And I sure wish you all could be with me in California at our Stampin' Up! Event. But again, I'm so excited to be able to bring back a lot of great information and energy with you. We have some new ink pad, a new ink pad style, and new colors of ink pads that will be released. I'll see those in person in California and bring some home. Wish you were here. I'll be sure to have those new style ink pads at the library for you to check out at our next month's in April. Tomorrow is the day of our March class, March 13th, Friday, March 13th at 10 o'clock. And my good friend Sharon is going to be leading the class since I'm away. And she has some treats for you and always a lot of positive energy and great ideas. So I have many kit choices for you, some really sweet Easter cards, some other springtime butterfly cards, which are popular. Let's see. I think I have several butterfly options. Butterflies are wonderful for this time of year. You'll see what I did was added the sky piece to the back mountain fold. And the next mountain fold is where we're going to add the chair. So if I spread this all out, you'll see behind the beach umbrella, there's this sandy wave. That's where we can put the chair. And I just want to have a little adhesive down at the bottom. I don't want to have it be stuck on the card. So be sure when you place it, you only have adhesive down at the bottom of the chair here. We can add some flip-flops. Put those over here. So we just kicked off our shoes while we're at the beach. We have a sign that's going to line up right along the bottom. So we always have a variety of kits. It's a $20 supply fee for a kit for the Friday class, and that includes a kit that has an ink pad, stamps, a block for working with, and all the consumable supplies cut and ready for you to create multiple cards. This one needs a few dots too. I'm looking to see if I don't think this one had any shiny dots. So you might have your shiny dots from your first project if your card envelope is missing some shiny dots, but these will work from our first project. I'm just going to add them again for some sparkle in the sun. So here's that second variation. We have the surfboard or the beach. You have one or the other in your card, and I hope you'll have fun creating that and then deciding who to share that colorful card with. If you wanted, you could have this be a happy birthday card, thinking of you, any occasion. It'd be lovely for a holiday birthday. Okay, next let's complete our class with our third project. And this is a lovely Easter card or springtime card featuring designer paper that has this lovely foil. Your envelope will be a white envelope with the blue paper inside. And this is already cut and pre-scored for you, all the pieces that you need to make this fun fold. Now you'll notice on the back, I've added the piece of white cardstock with some sentiment and embellishment. You don't have to do that. You could write across the whole back, but this is just a nice focal point for if you decide you want to write your message there. Just a little hello. We'll go ahead and do our stamping first. We're using a lovely color called Shy Shamrock. Shy Shamrock is one of our in colors that's retiring. It will retire in April. There are 5 colors every year that are introduced called in colors. And each year we say goodbye to a set of 5 and welcome to a new set of 5. It's always a little bittersweet to say goodbye. I do love the Shy Shamrock that we're using today. And also this beautiful color, Pretty in Pink, is another color that's retiring. So Stampin' Up's colors are available in ink pad, in markers, and in cardstock. And so it's lovely because the products all coordinate. You can see how the Shy Shamrock paper matches so nicely with the ink. Let's move the ink away, and we're going to do some folding and some gluing now that we have our pieces stamped. This piece of cardstock measures 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored. I can put it in the comments, the dimensions that it's scored, so that you'll be able to recreate the project if you like. But it's scored so that it will fit right inside a standard medium envelope. And so it's perfect to go in the mail. We're going to add our embellished panels. So it's kind of like a triptych. There's a wider piece in the middle and then 2 on the edges. I'm going to add some adhesive, and this is designer series paper that has that really fun foil images on one side and then sweet subtle patterns on the other. Aren't those little bunnies so happy, little chicks? This one has these pretty daffodils and tulips, and soon we'll be able to enjoy the beautiful daffodils and tulips in front of our library each year. That's one of my favorite things about coming to the library, doing errands in the village of Baldwinsville, and enjoying the amazing flowers at our library. It won't be long. We can hang in there through the end of winter. So here I have my 3 panels glued and ready to adhere to the card base. Let's go ahead and use that thin thread of glue. We'll center that in the middle panel. I love the Shy Shamrock color. It's one that I'll really miss. Green tends to be a favorite. My favorite colors are green, yellow, and purple. It's hard to pick just one favorite color, right? Do you feel the same way? There we are. And green I love because there are so many shades of green for all year round. Such a beautiful color. On the back, we'll add the panel that we embellished with the sentiment. So that's ready to do a greeting and a writing for our person that we're sharing it with. And we have our sentiment circle ready to put onto the blue, balmy blue piece. And we'll add some dimensionals to pop that up, just like we did on our smile card. And you'll see now that I have in your envelope, there's a little bow already on a glue dot ready for you to adhere to your card. So you just peel that off of the liner and you can place that on your card, either centered or off to the side. It's up to you. Just a little hello. Now, I promised you, though, that I would share with you this month how I made the bows with a fork or a comb like this one. And I'm using about 8 inches of ribbon for this right now. Depending on the thickness of your ribbon and how long you want your bows to be, the tails of your bow to be, you can experiment with the length of the ribbon. But what I'm going to do is wrap and cross over the ribbon so that the tails are equivalent on both sides here, pretty close in size. Okay, now the one that goes over the top is going to do all our work here. It's going to tuck through the hole, then come around the back, through that middle tine, and then pull it tightly and tie a knot. That's all it is. I'm going to do it twice so you can see it, and you can watch the video over and over if you like. Once you have that knotted, you can just slide it off. And what's fun about this is all of your bows will be the same size. So let's say you're making favors for a Mother's Day tea or a baby shower or something fun at your church or at school, and you want them to be more uniform. This is a great way to have bows be very standard. And you can trim up. Sometimes when we handle ribbon, it has a little bit of fray, so we can trim that up. And then what I did was add it to the glue dot, a strip of glue dots, so that it is ready to use just like a little sticker embellishment. And I can take that and include this in a card kit like I did for you tonight, or make a whole big row of them to give to a friend who might enjoy bows, but may find bows a little challenging to tie. So let's do that one more time. I have my strip of ribbon and placing it. The fork is going to I call this the fork bow. So even though this is a comb, I'm referring it to as a fork. We're going to lay that down and then cross over our ribbon. Okay, so sometimes we call this a hope bow. It's where you have the ribbon that crosses over like a support ribbon. Now the one that's on top is going to do the work. It's going to go it's going to go through the hole at the bottom, underneath the ribbon, and it's going to come over and around the top. Then we just simply pull that tightly and make a knot, just one knot. You don't have to do it double. It's nice and strong just with one. Slide that off, and here we have our sweet little mini bows. And I love that they are tiny and uniform in shape. I'm going to get it ready for another project by putting it on my glue dot so it's ready to adhere. There we are. And you, of course, can use different sizes of a comb or a large serving fork as opposed to a salad fork to make a different size bow. This is my favorite. This size just comes out so beautifully for use on cards. So let's take a look at our 3 projects again that we completed, and I'm so happy you could be a part of our video tonight. And if you're watching on replay, or if you were able to join in the Zoom, I want to thank Julia from the Baldwinsville Public Library for always her technical support and emotional support as we work together to enjoy sharing our crafting with you. It's such a pleasure to make a card and send a card. It gives me great joy helping others learn to celebrate their creativity. So have a wonderful month ahead. I'll look forward to when I'm back in April for our Zoom class and for our in-person class. I'll have some great new products and ideas to share with you from Long Beach, California. Thank you, everybody. Have a great month. Bye-bye.